Particular Labour seem to have lost MPs who would either be high-profile casualties in the expenses scandal or those who were hanging on to a very small majority. In Battersea, the Labour MP Martin Linton had won last time by just 163 votes.
I think that the Battersea, like what appears to be having across Britain, Battersea voted for change.
But most of London didn't. Just under 90% of the capital seats belong to exactly the same party now that they did this time last week. So how come, in the 5 years since the last election, have our votes hardly changed? One thing it hasn't been is a smooth journey. Almost exactly 2 years ago, Boris Johnson won City Hall with 43% of first preference votes. On Thursday, the Conservatives managed only 34.5%, which is just 3% better than they did in 1997. So despite all the efforts of David Cameron to give his party a modern metropolitan face, London doesn't seem to be buying it.
Andy Slaughter, the Labour Party candidate, 20,000.
Hammersmith might be a case in point. Labour's Andrew Slaughter held off a challenge from a Conservative candidate in whom the party had invested both money and hope. Now, Shaun Bailey was one of a number of candidates who was meant to represent a new face for the Conservative Party, more modern, more representative of what Britain really looks like. But the planned Conservative revolution hasn't even gone as far as David Cameron's part of town. Westminster North, high on the party's target list, is just a short hop from the Tory leader's current London home in Notting Hill. But even here, a high-profile, new-look Tory candidate couldn't break through.
For the record, press, you are on notice of the truth as of now. No more lies.
A victorious Labour Party were on the streets yesterday.
Hello, thank you very much. We are very happy you are here.
I think it's because there was an element of the A-list and the money being in some ways a substitution for real grassroots campaigning work, and I look at those colleagues who won, and I know how good they are, I know how hard they work.
But not all of London was celebrating. On Friday, the city didn't seem too keen on the voters' verdict. Sterling fell, as did the FTSE 100. Uncertainty over the occupants of number 10 is said to be a major